Accused killer dad Luciano Fratolin, sorry, may have been struggling to pay dead daughter Melina's child support as staggering debt is revealed. Canadian dad accused of killing his 9-year-old daughter is in a massive debt. Struggled to pay child support and made bizarre posts about how the little girl disrupted his life. Jesus fuck, what the fuck? Luciano Fratolin, 45, claimed to have a high-flying lifestyle as a coffee company owner, but when he appeared in court Monday to answer charges that he murdered his daughter, Melina, during a trip to upstate New York, he told the judge that he was broke and couldn't afford a lawyer. Fratolin, who was born in Ethiopia, oh my goodness, spoke glowingly of Melina on his corporate bio page for his Montreal-based Java company. Oh, Jesus. Gabella Coffee, calling her beautiful and the light of his life. Other charging girl's death. Accused killer Melina Fratelloni is found dead underneath a log in a pond. Jesus fuck. Melina's father, Luciano, reports that his daughter was kidnapped near I-78 in Lake George. Wait, what? Wait, why would he do this? Oh my god. So, okay, so it started here. Melina was seen alive with their father on surveillance video here. Melina's father, Luciano, reports that his daughter was kidnapped near I-78 in Lake George. Right. And then, right, the body was found here Sunday. But the right also contained chilling clues to his fragile state of mind. Oh, here's the illegal migrant accused of shooting CBP agent was arrested in NYC and released 4 times despite deportation order. So this guy was a well-known fucking he was a repeat offender and he fucking attacked a cop or CBP agent, Border Patrol agent. He conceded he had to learn to live with his daughter's messy art projects and chaotic toys because of his obsession with keeping perfect order in his home. In his bio, which has since scrubbed from the internet, he also alludes to a life of painful hardships he's had to endure, including incidences of racism, feeling of isolation, and the death of his father as a teenager. Wait, what? You have a daughter, though. What the fuck? I guess people still stay in that depression state and don't get out of it. Super depresso after they lose a loved one, and then they just stay depressed forever. Fratellini hints at an unfortunate event in 2019 that he said severely affected his well-being and necessitated a long and arduous road to recovery. Cops said at a press conference Monday he became estranged from his former wife that year, in addition to grappling with past demons and a strained relationship with his ex. Fratellini was more than $200,000 in debt. Oh, that's probably why. Stemming from business dealings in Montreal. Oops. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. You guys are a piece of shit and you make us pay for your bullshit. The flailing entrepreneur had rented a property in the hip Montreal enclave of Mile End since 2020, which he sublet as an Airbnb, according to a report in La Presse. He hired 2 property managers to run the venture, including having them make the rent payments he owed, enabling him to pay his daughter's child support, with what he netted afterward, he said in court documents obtained by the outlet. But his lease was terminated by the landlord in August 2024 when he fell $26,000 behind on rent. He was also being denied access to property where he said he stored his daughter's winter clothing and toys. He is suing the managers for more than $115,000, claiming they exploited the property without his knowledge and never made the rent payments as promised, according to Le Devoir. Le Devoir. Oh man, it's starting to sound like VTuber industry shit, right? Fucking shady business deals. Well, this guy actually killed someone. Their own flesh and blood. In turn, the manager's alleged Fretolin had planned to empty his bank account and flee the country, which he did not. Damn, we're living it. I made a fucking Twitter post saying, yeah, this is Lord of the Flies we're living in. Good luck. You better get your pitchforks and fucking torches out and start climbing the goddamn ladder, yeah. An employee of a Depanua Cafe, a coffee shop Fretolin once owned and on which he still owes Bank of Nova Scotia about $83,000. Damn, that's a lot. That's like a fucking salary, dude. That's like a month's salary. Or, well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, depending on what kind of job you're doing. Said the accused killer had been splitting his time between Italy and Canada for the past 18 months. The bank said Fretolin also owed $97,000 in unpaid credit card. Dude, holy shit, no way. Was he doing like the whole credit, right, using a bunch of credit cards and then maxing them out and then fucking literally fucking himself in the butthole? Debts from Cafe Gambella, Jambella. Another coffee shop bearing the same name as his online Java business. Sorry, I'm fucking tired. I had to take medicine because I'm still kind of sick. But his Instagram page depicts a very different version of his financial situation. Rife with photos and posts featuring exotic travels and expensive sports cars and with statements such as, "I'm truly addicted to Porsche." The accused killer dad and his daughter were vacationing in the Lake George area before her slaying, and about 30 miles from where her body was found. Before the child's body was discovered, Fretolin filed a bogus kidnapping report claiming Melina had been snatched by two men in a white van near exit 22 on I-87. Barely an hour after she called her mother, ahead of their flight back to Quebec, police said. He entered a non-guilty plea in court Monday. He was charged with second-degree murder, which could carry a life sentence in New York, as well as concealment of human corpse. He's due back on court July 25th, yeah. Well, I mean, he did it intentionally. Well, they think he did it intentionally, yeah. Yawning too much. I'm fucking. What time is it? Oh yeah, 10. Oh shit, I forgot it. Damn it. Okay, off-duty. Oh shit, whoopsies. Off-duty ZBP officer shot in the face during robbery at NYC Park by suspected ID'd as a illegal migrant career criminal who got freed after every bust. God damn. So this was the story we looked, right, we saw this video, I forgot, it was like yesterday or 2 days ago when it happened. Well, yeah, they got him. because he was on the run. An off-duty U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer was shot in the face after being robbed by a moped riding illegal immigrant in a New York City park on Saturday. But he shot back and wounded his attacker, according to sources. You know that moped riding illegal immigrant? Yeah, I think that's probably that moped gang that's been fucking up New York City, literally. Right, because they literally go around on mopeds and steal from people. Right, they steal from people. Right, maybe, right, kill them possibly. Who knows? You don't know, right? Until it happens. According to sources, the suspect has been identified as Miguel Francisco Mora Nunez, 21-year-old Dominican national with a lengthy rap sheet in New York, according to sources. But he was let go each time he was busted, despite having a deportation order. Mora entered the U.S. illegally via the southern border under the Biden admin, Department of Homeland Security said Sunday. 42-year-old federal agent and a female companion were sitting on a rock along the Hudson River in Fort Washington Park in Manhattan when they were ambushed by two men on the moped around 11:50 p.m., according to police sources. After a brief exchange and tussle, one of the moped-riding men fired a gun and hit the victim in the face and left forearm. The agent then drew his own pistol and fired multiple shots in the perps, hitting the suspect. Mora was struck and wounded 3 times by the return gunfire, sources said. Harrowing video released by DHS caught one suspect hopping off the moped and approaching the CBP officer before firing shots at him, then reeling back after the officer returned fire. The suspects eventually fled on the moped, the video showed. There it is. President Trump unleashed on the system that allowed Mora to enter the country illegally and stay here. Last night in New York City, an incredible CBP officer was shot in the face by an illegal alien monster. Freed into the country under Joe Biden. Oh, yeah, we already saw that, actually. We read that. Eric Adams addressed the mounting criticism during a visit to the wounded victim officer in Harlem Hospital on Sunday. We read this, yesterday? When it happened? Right? Yesterday, 2 days ago? I forgot when. Goal is to get dangerous people off the street. We have done that. Federal partners, you know the numbers. Dangerous gang, take down what we participate in. His owner. We're not allowed to coordinate the deportation. Civil deportation only. We have used tools with our task force, federal partners, remove dangerous people off streets, communicate our borders are, and he is en route. Visit our office. Sources more across the U.S. Mexico border April 23rd. Released due to lack of space, as usual. It's always due to lack of space. Need to get more beds, right? Need more beds in your facilities. Because fucking what's his face? Fucking Homan's like talking about beds a lot, right? Alleged robber is currently in custody after walking into a Bronx hospital with gunshot wounds. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to go somewhere because you can't just walk around with fucking bullet holes in you and you're fucking bleeding out. That sounds real fucking stupid. You're gonna die out real quick. So yeah, you had to go to the hospital. And look, the only where you can go. Oh, it's the Bronx, by the way. Ooh. Cops were able to save the CBP officer's life because they were nearby, responding to a mugging in the area. Oh wow, that's lucky. But the same suspects are believed to have cell phone just 5 minutes before the shootout. So, yeah, NYPD chief Detectives Joseph Kenny said Sunday. Damn, they were on a spree and then found the cops and were like, yeah, let's hit them up too. The federal agent was undergoing surgery Sunday. Source said he is stable condition according to DHS. Second robber still at large. So yeah, his buddy probably dropped him off at the hospital because like he's fucking shot, and his buddy was the only one that wasn't shot. So it's like, yeah. At the time of his arrest for the shooting, Morrow was wanted on kidnapping and weapon charges out from Massachusetts related to a robbery at a pawn shop, sources said. He also had at least 4 arrests in New York City, where he was let go. Dude, why is it always Massachusetts? Dude, what a fucking shithole. Where he was let go without bail each time, according to the sources. Sorry, I'm such a dick about certain fucking states. I'm sorry. Hey, when you live in California, you tend to not give a fuck. Because it's just how bad California is. It's just like, yep. Yeah, that's happening in New York and like fucking Chicago. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, what? I'm just gonna be a dick. Because fuck this. This is fucking bullshit. Laura was nabbed twice, just days apart, August 2024, for allegedly assaulting a pregnant woman and threatening to kill another migrant with a machete. Aren't these just outstanding characters that a lot of Democrats and communists want to fucking protect? Yeah, you know those, you know those fucking those Democrats who are like, oh yeah, we want to help these people. Yeah, they're actively trying to fucking kill you while trying to help you, while trying to help them. Yeah. And he was arrested for violating an order for protection in 2024. Had another bench warrant out for his arrest. Issued January. None of those charges were bail eligible. New York City's sanctuary laws mean that he was not handed over to ICE, despite a deportation order. With all these laws and policies, we still missing the guys that matters. They're still missing the criminals, one law enforcement source said. There's a failure at every level. Oh, because one got away. Homeland Security said Christy Nome is expected to visit the wounded officer on Monday. The 2 suspects will also be investigated for the robbery of the women's cell phones, authorities said. Parents stolen car that killed 2 in horrific NYC crash had illegal guns stashed in trunk. Prosecutors. Uh-oh. So they were already doing shady shit, and boom! Right, it's all bad. Blam! To 2 bystanders killed both. Chinatown was packing heat. Manhattan prosecutors said the reckless pair now charged in a horrific Saturday morning wreck had a gun stashed in the trunk. Of the stolen blue Chevy. Oh, it was stolen too? Damn. When it slammed into the victims and struck an NYPD van in a shocking caught-on video tragedy. Accused driver Autumn Asensio Romero, 23, and 22-year-old passenger Kennedy LaCraft allegedly fled the scene of the horror but were nabbed by cops nearby. So it was 2 women. Yikes. 2 women stole a vehicle and then fucking killed 2 other people. Romero, who was awaiting arraignment in Manhattan criminal court on Monday, was charged with murder, manslaughter, possession of stolen property, and gun possession after prosecutors said. Cops found a gun and ammunition in the stolen vehicle after the fatal crash. Oops. The craft was arraigned earlier on Monday on charges of unauthorized use of motor vehicle, criminal possession of stolen property, and criminal possession of a weapon. Supreme Court Justice Elizabeth Shamos set bail for LaCroft at $150,000 cash or a $300,000 bond. Recordings show that Romero already had another pending criminal case tied to a traffic mishap in Brooklyn in April that left a 22-year-old woman seriously injured but was free without bail. In the deadly Saturday morning incident, the Chevy had been rented last month but was overdue at an Enterprise rent-a-car lot by 17 days, law enforcement said. The car was filled with drugs and booze, according to the sources. Kevin Scott Cruikshank, 55, who was riding his bicycle when he was struck and killed, was a safe streets advocate who was active with transportation alternatives, a family spokesperson said. Jesus Christ. What are the chances, man? The irony. May Kwok, 63, who was sitting on a bench when the car slammed into her, had struggled with mental illness in the past and was found fond of relaxing on the same bench when she attended church in Chinatown, her brother previously told the Post. Oh, Jesus, fuck. That's crazy. Took out 2 people. One on a park bench that was like right here or something. Or right here, I don't remember. And then the biker. I wonder when we're gonna get VTubers ready to do that. Chilling video shows illegal immigrant snatching Chinese sex slave. Uh-oh. Who escaped Texas trafficking ring. Uh-oh, in Texas. Damn, there's a... Damn! You mean all the content creator land in fucking Texas? They got some human trafficking going around? Damn, I didn't know. Wow. Chilling video shows an illegal immigrant from Honduras allegedly kept a sex trafficking victim hostage for 5 days without food or water. Well, he beat her and sexually assaulted her, authorities said. Jose Carcamo, 22, arrested last Monday after he allegedly held a woman captive when she tried to flee a trafficking ring in Houston, Texas. Oh man, Houston. Chilling ring doorbell camera footage allegedly shows the illegal migrant snatching... Illegal migrant? No, that dude's a fucking illegal alien if he's doing that kind of shit. Snatching her off the streets and carrying her away as she kicked frantically. Carcamo then locked the woman, who is a Chinese national, in a room inside an East Houston trailer home for 5 days without food or water, according to court documents obtained KPRC 2, Channel 2. The man is also accused of tying her up, punching her and raping her while she was in captivity. Cops were first alerted to the alleged trafficking ring after receiving a 911 call from a woman screaming for help. A witness reported seeing a woman running down the street before a man snatched her and carried her away. When deputies searched the East Houston trailer home, they found the woman locked inside a closet, KPRC2 reported. The woman, who said she was transported from New York to Texas, for a new masseuse job was promised more cash. But the situation quickly turned dark after her captors confiscated her Chinese passport and moved her into the trailer home. Oh, shit. While in captivity, the woman said she was tied up and sexually assaulted by Carcamo on multiple occasions. She said she was a masseuse up in New York. She was offered a position down here in Houston that paid more money, so she was given transportation down here. Someone drove her, said she was spent about 4 or 5 days or so in the car driving down here, said Lieutenant John Klafka, chief of the Adult Special Crimes Unit at the Harris County Sheriff's Office. The Chinese woman was locked in the closet after she attempted to break free. He obviously is not the one that drove her from New York, Klafka said, adding that there are other people involved. This is a very traumatic event. You know, you're in a foreign country. You were brought from one giant city to another that's halfway across the country, south. And she has no friends, no family. Nobody is here for her. So we've got to do everything we can to ensure that she can trust us to do our jobs and find the rest of the people that are involved in this, Klafka said. Authorities believe the incident is linked to a larger trafficking ring involving more suspects and victims, according to KRPC too. Man, I wonder if VTuber agencies are trying to traffic people. Yeah. I mean, they're already trying to use them for labor, right? Use and abuse, cause fraud and embezzlement. Yeah. Migrant attorney said Carcamo maintains complete innocence. Our client, Mr. Jose Carcamo, is shocked by the serious allegations brought forth against him and firmly maintains his complete innocence. He fully expects that the evidence will ultimately clear his name. The lawyer said in a statement to KPRC2. The victim is safe and is receiving counseling and medical care at an undisclosed location, the outlet added. There it is. Mr. Jose Carcamo. He's an alien. Illegal alien. They're trying to protect him. Just like VTuber companies. Trying to protect illegal actions. Shocking footage shows illegal migrants suspected of shooting off-duty CBP officer pull up to NYC hospital moments after ambush. Oh yeah, he leaves after he drops off his buddy that just got shot 3 times. Yeah. So yeah, this is the after. So this is literally the aftermath of this guy targeting the CBP officer. Oh yeah. I mean, it's literally the same. They probably just talk about how he fucking dropped him off and it's holy shit. Oh yeah, there you have it. Will face full weight of the U.S. justice system. Yeah, that dude on the bike, he dropped him off and just fucking sped off. It was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get caught up in this shit. Because he's literally an accomplice to a crime. Ugh. Accomplice to a crime just like Denham's, Frogan, and Casey Tron. Yeah, they're not in a crime. They're just in some fucking stupid legal battle because they decided to play fucking some stupid bullshit game that they don't understand shit about. You want to play games like that? You fuck around and find out, right? Literally. This is the Breonna Taylor. Oh, wait, is this the one? No. I had the... There's a Breonna Taylor one. Yeah, right here. A former Louisville police officer will be sentenced on Monday for violating Breonna Taylor's rights during the raid in which she was shot and killed, with President Trump's Justice Department asking the judge to imprison him for just one day. The surprising request by the department's Civil Rights Division angered members of Taylor's family, some of whom may address the court on Monday ahead of the hearing to sentence former Detective Brett Hankinson. The hearing is due to start at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Taylor, a black woman, was shot and killed by Louisville police officers in March 2020 after they used a no-knock warrant on her at her home. Her boyfriend, believing they were intruders, back when this happened, I think you could see the video too. I think the video is still out there. Boyfriend were allegedly fired an officer with a legally owned firearm, prompting them to return fire. Taylor's death, along with the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis at the hands of a white police officer, sparked racial justice protests across the U.S. over the treatment of people of color by police departments. Yeah, honestly, in the case of the Breonna Taylor one, that was just a fucking dumbass. That was just cops being fucking retarded. The George Floyd one, he's a fucking retard. The dude's a fucking asshole. During President Joe Biden's administration, Justice Department brought criminal civil rights charges against the officers involved in both Taylor and Floyd's deaths. Hankinson was convicted by a federal jury in November 2024 of one count of violating Taylor's civil rights after the first attempt to prosecute him ended with a mistrial. He was separately acquitted on the state charges in 2022. The Justice Department sentencing memo for Hankinson downplayed his role in the raid at Taylor's home, saying he did not shoot Miss Taylor and it is not otherwise responsible for her death. The memo was notable because it was not signed by any of the career prosecutors who had tried the case. It was submitted on July 16th by Harmeet Dillon, a political appointee appointed by Trump to lead the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, and her counsel, Robert Keenan. Keenan previously worked as a federal prosecutor in Los Angeles, where he argued that a local deputy sheriff convicted of civil rights violations, Trevor Kirk. Oh shit! Get out of here. Should have his conviction on the felony counts stuck and should not serve prison time. The efforts to strike the felony conviction led several prosecutors on the case to resign and protest, according to media reports and a person familiar with the matter. The department's sentencing recommendation in the Hankinson case marks the latest effort by the Trump admin to put the brakes on the department's police accountability work. Earlier this year, Dillon nixed plans to enter into a court-approved settlement with the Louisville Police Department and rescinded the Civil Rights Division's prior findings of widespread civil rights abuse against people of color. Attorneys for Taylor Swift, I always said Taylor Swift. What the fuck? Taylor's family called the department's sentencing recommendation for Hankinson an insult and urged the judge to deliver true justice for her. U.S. District Judge Rebecca Gray Jennings on Friday denied Hankinson's request for a new trial. There you have it. Right here. It says the force in botched 2020 raid. Former Kentucky detective has been sentenced to just under 3 years in jail for using excessive force during the botched police raid which killed Breonna Taylor. Brian Hankinson, who fired 10 shots during the raid but didn't hit anyone, was the only officer on the scene charged in the 26-year-old's death on March 13th, 2022. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why they did that. Why was he the one picked when he did? I guess because he was the easiest one, because he was with the intent, right, to harm and everything. Even if he missed 10 shots, right, he used a deadly weapon. Honestly, that whole team should get fucking slapped. He is the first person sentenced to jail time in the case, which rocked the city of Louisville and spawned weeks of street protests against police brutality at the time. U.S. District Judge Rebecca Grady Jennings sentenced Hankinson on Monday. Yeah, we just read that one. Saying she was startled that more people weren't injured in the raid. She rejected a U.S. Department of Justice recommendation that the disgraced detective should be spared jail, saying this would not be appropriate. Hankinson was sentenced to 33 months in prison along with 3 years of supervised probation. He will not report directly to prison. Jennings said the Bureau of Prisons will determine where and when he starts his sentence. Meanwhile, outside the court, demonstrators clashed with police as they stopped traffic. It's unclear whether they were protesting Hankinson's sentence or the Justice Department's move to try to spare him jail time. Taylor's aunt, Bianca Austin, was among 4 people detained at the scene amid the chaos. She is scheduled to appear in court for an arraignment on July 22nd. Jennings expressed disappointment with federal prosecutors' sentencing memo filed last week, saying the Justice Department treated Hankinson's action as an inconsequential crime, and said the memo was incredulous. Sorry, I accidentally put an L. And inappropriate. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump also called the Justice Department recommendation an insult to the life of Breonna Taylor and a blatant betrayal of the jury's decision. Sorry, I put an S. I don't know why I did that. Sorry, I'm getting tired from reading a lot. Crump previously helped Taylor's family secure a $12 million wrongful deaths settlement against the city of Louisville, and he attended the hearing on Monday. After the sentence, Crump yelled to the crowd outside the courthouse, Say her name, sorry. The crowd yelled back, Breonna Taylor. Hankinson fired his weapon the night of the March 2020 botched drug raid. His shot flying through the walls of Taylor's apartment into a neighboring apartment without hitting or injuring anyone. 26-year-old's death, along with the May 2020 police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, sparked racial injustice protests nationwide that year. Last week, the U.S. Justice Department recommended no prison time for Hankinson, an abrupt about-face by federal prosecutors that are angered critics after the department spent years prosecuting the former detective. The Justice Department, which has changed leadership under President Donald Trump since Hankinson's conviction, said in a sentencing memo last week that there is no need for prison sentence to protect the public from Hankinson. Yeah, I mean, Hankinson was just trying to do his job. Like, he's not gonna go around fucking right. go out, fucking guns a blazing. He's not on a suicide mission. Federal prosecutors suggested time already served, which amount to 1 day and 3 years of supervised probation. Prosecutors at his previous federal trials aggressively pursued a conviction against Hankinson, 49, arguing that he blindly fired 10 shots into Taylor's window without identifying a target. I mean, when you already have bullets flying at you, right, there's no, the identification is that they're in a house. And and that in that general vicinity, I mean, wherever they are in the house, he's gonna be shooting inside the house, right? It's suppressing fire in a sense because they are already shooting, right? So it's like, well, he started shooting. That's why he shot 10 shots, right? But yeah, I mean, this is the argument that they're trying to make. Anyways. Taylor was shot in her hallway by 2 other officers after her boyfriend fired from inside the apartment, striking an officer in the leg. Neither of the other officers was charged in the state or federal court after prosecutors deemed they were justified in returning fire in the apartment. Louisville police used a drug warrant to enter the apartment, but found no drugs or cash inside. Well, I mean, because they were the wrong fucking people. A separate jury deadlocked on federal charges against Hankinson in 2023, and he was acquitted on state charges of wanton endangerment in 2022. Viewers, go fuck yourself. I hope you go. Alright, in their recent federal prosecutors wrote that Hankinson's... Wait, did I miss something? Oh. Oh, no, I'm okay. Yeah, Hankinson's response in these fraught circumstances was unreasonable, given the benefit of hindsight. That unreasonable response did not kill or wound Breonna Taylor, her boyfriend, her neighbors, defendants' fellow officers, or anyone else. On Monday, the Louisville Metro Police Department arrested 4 people in front of the courthouse who it said were creating confrontation, kicking vehicles, or otherwise creating an unsafe environment. Ah, that's why. Authorities didn't list the charges those arrested would face. We understand these cases cause pain and damage trust between our department and the community. Police statement said, "We particularly respect and value the First Amendment. However, what we saw today in front of the courthouse in the street was not safe, acceptable, or legal." A U.S. probation officer presenting report had said Hankinson should face a range of 135 to 168 months imprisonment on the excessive force conviction, according to the memo. The federal prosecutor said multiple factors, including that Hankinson's 2 other trials ended with no convictions, should greatly reduce the potential punishment. The memorandum was submitted by Harmeet Dillon, chief of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, and a Trump political appointee who in May moved to cancel settlements with Louisville and Minneapolis, and a call for overhauling their police departments. In the Taylor case, 3 other ex-Louisville police officers have been charged with crafting a falsified warrant, but have not gone to trial. None were at the scene when Taylor was shot. There you have it. So they apparently, I guess they're trying to get them on the falsified warrant. Even though they didn't go to the correct, right, that everything they had was incorrect. Like, all the information they had was incorrect. They went to the wrong house at the wrong warrants. It was bad. All right. We're gonna pause it there for now.